Hello friends, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to solve a few questions and errors, right? So these are amazing, beautiful questions and tricky questions as well. So let us go to the question straight away and try to solve them, right? As you can see, I don't need to tell you what you're supposed to do here. You can see there are four parts altogether. Okay, a sentence has been divided into four parts, right? One, two, three, and any. Any stands for no error. If you think the sentence is absolutely error free, then you must go for the last one, that is any. Okay, and if you think there is any error, and please do remember that error will be only in one part of the sentence. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm sure you must be knowing the strategies to arrive at the answers. Okay, I would recommend you strongly to read the sentence from the beginning to the end. Try to understand the meaning, because in a the knowledge of meaning will help you to answer the question correctly. Okay, so let us start it. It says a British woman was detaining at Sabah airport, right? A woman was detaining at Sabah airport, right? Okay, so it is quite clear that the woman must not have detained others. Okay, she will have been detained, right? When we read the sentence as a British woman was detaining, it gives a wrong meaning. That means a British woman was trying to stop someone from going to another particular place. Okay, rather she was detained. We don't need a active structure. We need a passive structure here. Instead of detaining, it should be detained. A British woman was detained by the airport authorities, right? So now the meaning is quite clear. Let us go to question number 2. The heinous acts of the terrorists. The heinous acts of the terrorists. Here the subject is heinous acts. Heinous means gruesome, extremely bad. Okay, extremely bad or shocking. Bad or shocking, and the reference is to the extremely bad activities of the terrorists. And you can see heinous act here functions as the subject. Act has been written, and it is quite apparent, clear that the subject has singular. That's why we have used has. Okay, the heinous act has agreed. There is an error in this particular part. Though the sentence is in present perfect tense structure, but the word agreed has been used incorrectly. Okay, so the third form of anger is angered. Okay, let me tell you, angry is an adjective. That's why it became incorrect. Anger can be used as a noun and also as a verb. So we need a verb here. We do not need an adjective here. Okay, please take down the note. We don't need an adjective here. Rather, we need a verb. Okay, and that's why we have to make the third form of anger, that is angered. Third form of anger is angered. Okay, so instead of writing angry, we should write angered. Now, apart from preparing for his marriage next month, absolutely this part is absolutely error free. There is no error in the first part. Okay, apart from preparing for his marriage next month, this is a phrase. Then we have another phrase, the Bollywood actor. Okay, and in between the phrase we have got a clause. Okay, the Bollywood actor is the subject. Okay, who is known for his dancing prowess. Prowess means ability, efficiency. Okay, who is known. This is an adjective clause, right? The adjective clause doesn't need any correction because it is absolutely correct. The Bollywood actor is gearing to for his small screen debut. Small screen debut means the first appearance of an actor in any particular activity. So right now, let us see. The sentence has got two clauses and one phrase. The phrase is mentioned, okay, at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, the phrase is mentioned at the beginning of a sentence, right? And there are two clauses. The clause, one adjective clause has been mentioned in between. Another clause, okay, the main clause starts from the Bollywood actor. The Bollywood actor is the subject of the main clause. Please do remember, it is the subject of the main clause. And the predicate starts from this part. The predicate of the main clause starts from this part. And here there is a grammatical error. Okay, gearing, G-E-A-R, gear is the verb, right? Gear plus ing, gearing. The sentence follows present progressive structure. So instead of writing gearing, we should write gearing up to make the sentence correct. Gearing up means when you gear up for some kinds of action. Okay, when you gear up, I mean to participate in a match. When you gear up to celebrate your brother's birthday or your brother's marriage anniversary, or for that matter your brother's marriage celebration, right? That means you feel enthusiastic, okay, you are quite delighted to take part in a particular event. And as you can see here, we are talking about the first appearance of the author. That means he must be very, very enthusiastic to participate or to do it quite amazingly, right? So instead of gearing only, write gearing up. We must place the adverb up after gearing in order to make the sentence correct. Gear up for something means to take part in an event or a function quite effectively. Now, question number 4. After the direction of the CM, once this direction has come from the CM, the department began conducting. There is an error here. Let me tell you directly. Began. We must use a to plus V1 structure after the verb begin. Okay, the verb begin always takes a 2 plus V1 structure, right? So we must say began to conduct instead of saying began conducting. Okay, hopefully it is understood. So now let us go to question number 5. Reviewing the annual activities of various departments. This is the phrase. Okay, the phrase starts from reviewing the annual activities of various departments. After reviewing the annual activities of various departments, what did the PM do? The PM directed. The PM issued directed each of them, okay, to use cutting edge technology. The instruction was that everybody should use cutting edge technology, means advanced technology, to deliver the best services, right? To deliver the best services means to provide the best service. And also directed. He issued instruction and also directed. He gave one instruction and also gave another direction. What is that? And whom did he direct? He directed concerned officers. Okay. What to do? To facilitate e-payment of stamp duty. He wanted the facilitation of stamp duty. That's why he issued direction to the concerned officers. Please do remember that concerned officers have been used wrongly. Instead of using concerned officers, we must use officers concerned. We must use officers concerned. There is a difference between concerned officers and officers concerned. Concerned officers will mean those officers who are empathetic to us, or who are who have the same feelings as we have, right? If you are going through adversity and a person is, you find a concerned officer, that means he is genuinely, he is also showing his deep concern, deep worriness for you, concerned officers. In the sense, it is used in the sense of worried officers. But here, the PM is issuing direction to those officers who are in charge of staff duty, right? When we want to refer to certain officers who are in charge of certain duties, in that case, you must use officers concerned, not concerned officers. Hopefully, the session was understood well. Thank you all for being associated with us and have a very great day ahead. Thank you.